Greetings everyone. Today we have with us Dr. Tripti Barthwal, who is currently serving as a director at Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Development Studies. She completed her post-graduation in management from Lucknow University, where she topped her batch. She then pursued her PhD on the topic training and was awarded the doctoral degree in 2001. She is also a recipient of the National Scholarship by Ministry of HRD, Government of India, and holds a rich academic and research experience of 22 years. Her core area includes human resource management and organizational behavior. I would like to thank Tripti ma'am for being a part of this initiative, and on that note, let's hear it from Tripti ma'am.
It is my own passion and drive which drove me to academics, and of course it was the encouragement and reinforcement which I received from my parents also. So it was like this. Then when I came to academics, then I realized that I had made the right choice, because it is one of the very few sectors where the process is equally rewarding as the end result. It is like planting a young sapling and making all the efforts to make it grow, and then the sheer joy of watching it blossom. And I've seen so many young saplings blossoming before my eyes, and they are still spreading their fragrance and colors in the world. So very happy and very proud to be in academics. Now, many times what happens that you are very sure about your career choice, but if you land up at the wrong place, then probably you start doubting your choice. But I was lucky that way is that after completing my post graduation, I joined LBS, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Development Studies, and I found it to be a very warm and a conducive place for learning and for academics. And even today it is like that, because the primary reason behind this is that it was started by a group of academicians, unlike many professional institutions which are promoted by business groups. And as a result of that, those academicians had their priorities in the right place. They wanted to create a center of professional excellence where learning was very important, where academics was the focus area, and where people they wanted to have people there who had taken up academics not as a compulsion but as a choice. So, and in LBS, the faculty are encouraged to upgrade themselves, to go for faculty development programs, to conduct research, to participate in seminars, conferences, to present papers. And that is why it does not come as a surprise that most of the faculty after joining LBS either get enrolled for PhD or are awarded PhD, or they qualify net. So that is the kind of environment which we have. And I'm also not an exception to the rule. I was also awarded PhD during my stay at LBS only. And I joined LBS as an assistant professor. Then I was promoted to associate professor, then to professor. And today I'm in the position of the director of the institute. And considering the fact that I'm not related to any of the promoters, not to the founder, nobody, so it also speaks volumes about the kind of environment we have, the kind of emphasis LBS gives to performance, to academics. And it is a very, very rare characteristics which is found in institutions, whether big or small, especially in the private sector. And I am not only the one which can be quoted as an example as far as LBS goes. We have people, depending on their dates of joining, we have people who have spent more than 35 years, we have people who have spent 20 years, we have people who have spent 15, 10, 5 years in LBS, and they all say that it is a good place to be in. So it is like this.
That must have been a wonderful journey for you also at LBS,
For sure,
I've
for sure.
and I have heard a lot of good, things about LBS as a college and as a university. So it's
Thank you.
wonderful to hear such, good thoughts on this. So we'll just start off with the first question, and that is, you must have had a very long journey with Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Development Studies. What are the key factors that have kept you connected with the education sector due to this?
As I said, that it was my own decision to come into academics. It was my own passion. But when I entered into this profession, I realized that it is such a nice place to be in, and it keeps you not only you kind of create a resource which is so very important for the country, the society, and it is also a profession which never allows you to grow old. You may advance in the years, but as far as your mental faculties are concerned, your updation is concerned, you are always on your toes, because every year a new batch would join you, and that is how you are always connected to what is happening around, how the generations are changing, and you never feel that kind of a generation gap. And as I said, that it has been a very very complementary relationship, that my desire for academics has been complemented by the kind of environment which I got at LBS Institute of Management.
Great, ma'am. So, in education sector, one thing that we always see is that there's always the unlearning and relearning process, and that definitely drives all the faculties, and for that matter, anyone involved with the education sector to be engaged and have a wonderful journey in the education sector, right? On that note, I would like to move to the second question that we have. That is, being the director of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Development Studies, what is your philosophy of leadership, and how would you describe your leadership style?
So as I mentioned, that I joined Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management at the very entry level, and at that point of time, our founder, the late Professor Dr. Sunil Kumar, was the director of the institute, and I had the good fortune of observing him from very close quarters, and he had a very democratic style of functioning as a leader, and it was many times it was bordering on laissez-faire or free reign style of leadership. He was so open to suggestions. He was always very very encouraging of people to participate, to come up with ideas. So that thing really inspired me. Then he was a very simple and a very dynamic person. He would never hesitate to walk down to the cabin of any employee if he needed to discuss anything. He was always smiling, cheerful, positive, and he had that capacity to motivate or to bring a smile on the face of the most stressed or the most dull employee. So I will not say that I have been able to imbibe all his qualities. And of course, my team will be the best people who would judge what kind of style I have, whether it is good or bad. But I have, of course, tried to incorporate a few things which I learned under him, and I saw so many people transforming under his tutelage. So what I have tried to incorporate in my working is that team comes first. Team cohesiveness is very important, and there should always be some amount of positive functional conflict that only brings newer and better ideas. And then leadership should be of ideas. Leadership should be of performance rather than of hierarchy. There should be empathy, there should be emotional intelligence. So these are the factors or the features which I try to incorporate when I'm dealing with my team.
That's really great, ma'am. So it would be great if you could, just give me an anecdote of, how you have been incorporating the leadership style in your day-to-day life at LBS, for that matter.
There are so many instances, but for example, we are going through a very very tough time these days. So people. We are living in a very very uncertain time. We do not know what is going to happen in the future, when the admissions are going to take place, when the exams are going to happen. So I always keep a very very open and a transparent communication with my team members, trying to reassure them, trying to motivate them that if bad times are there, these will not last. We have to have a very very tough stand, and because we are a very very we have a 36-year-old legacy, and I always tell them that this is not the first time. The institutes which are 10 years old or maybe lesser than that, for them this must be the first time which they are facing a challenge or a crisis. But I always tell my team that we have been through ups and downs, different phases. So it does not mean a very very smooth ride always. So in 36 years, whatever we have learned, whatever our experiences have been, it is the time for us to put them all together to try to come out of these times. So that is how these are team members, especially the faculty members, pass on these things to our students also, that our students also do not lose hope in such tough times.
That's really great, ma'am. Just moving on to the next questions that we have is, one of the key factors for a success or a failure of an institute is always a curriculum. What is taught at the institute, and how it is delivered. So we want to know that how does the curriculum of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Development Studies ensure that the best practices of industry are followed at the institute and the students gain the best while they are enrolled at your college?
Okay, so as far as curriculum design is concerned, we are, because affiliated to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, so we do not have much say in the design of the curriculum. But what I would like to emphasize here is that the university itself pays it pays a lot of emphasis on the quality of the curriculum. It is according to whatever contemporary and whatever current trends are, the curriculum incorporates all that. And the primary reason for this is that their curriculum is designed by experts from IITs, IIMs, and other leading institutions. So that is why it is always up to the mark. It is of very good quality. And it is updated very, very regularly. So curriculum has never been a problem for us. The university takes good care of it. But apart from that, whatever gap remains between theory and practice, we at the level of the institute try to bridge that gap, and we try to do that by way of guest lectures. We invite people from the corporate world. We let our students go for get that experience through short-term, very very short-term internship programs. Then we have international fellowship programs to give students that kind of an exposure, and then we also organize workshops for them on any contemporary topic which we feel that still needs to be incorporated in the curriculum and cannot be taught as a part of a syllabus. So we have a lot of, as I said, workshops on different areas which we think are important at that point of time. We had workshops on digital marketing, Python, microanalysis of financial statements, Net MVC, PHP, Angular JS, jQuery, artificial intelligence, big data, React, machine learning, and the list is endless. And we also have an entrepreneurship development cell, which consists of very very successful entrepreneurs as mentors and advisors. So students are in regular touch with them, and they get a real feel of what the actual corporate world looks like and how does it work. So that is how we focus on their learning.
Oh, that's really, really great, ma'am. So, usually there's a lot of information available on internet, and students go out finding information about the college before they join a college. So what is something that you would like the students to know about the college, which is its great strength, and they should be knowing about Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management?
Okay. Yeah, you very rightly said that there is a lot of information on the internet. People can visit our website, and there are our social media pages. We are very active on Facebook. Pages Lal Bahadur Shastri Group of Institutions. Instagram, we are there. So and Collegedunia is also full of information about us. But as what I would like to say to the students, what they should know about LBS is that LBS has successfully completed 36 years of its inception. So we started in way back when there were no professional institutions as such. And this year we'll be welcoming our 23rd batch of MBA and the 21st batch of MCA. And you can very well imagine we have groomed more than 20,000 professionals in this entire journey of LBS. And our students therefore are placed at the middle management and the top management level in diverse organizations across the globe. And we have such variety of places where our students are working, from the Ministry of Finance to Amul, to Ernst & Young, Reuters, then TCS, HCL, Infosys, State Bank of India, Axis Bank, Yes Bank, Bank of Baroda, then BITS Pilani, Ramoji Film City, PVR, LG, and I can go on and on about that. So that is one thing, that we have a very very strong network of alumni. Then second thing is that we believe in working very very honestly and sort of quietly also for whatever good we are doing. But then it feels great that when you are recognized from certain outside parties. And this year itself, at the EdTech Review Awards, which was organized in Gurgaon, LBS bagged awards in two very important categories. One was excellence and innovation in management, and the other was institutions with quality industry academia interface. So you can very well understand from the names of the awards itself that how important these awards are for an academic institution. Then LBS is a place which is not merely meant for students to come, take admission, get education, get a degree, and finally placements. It is a place which gives you these things, which are a very very basic part of any academic institution. But beyond that, we work on the holistic development of the students. And this holistic development takes place at 4 different levels. First level we will take care of is the physical development of the student, that he's physically fit. And for that we have lot of activities. We have sports, we have yoga, we have Zumba, we have advice on nutrition, for many other things for the students. Then the second level of development which we emphasize is on the mental development, and for this we organize several co-curricular activities for the students. We have continuous in-house seminars for the students. And every year we organize a national seminar on topic of current relevance, and wherein we invite people from industry, successful people who can share their experiences with the students. Last year we had this seminar on fintech, the future of money and banking, and this year we had on Startup India, creating a new generation of entrepreneurs. Then we also go for flipped classes. We take the students for the field visits, and apart from taking them to the regular production where production is taking place, to those industries or to those companies, like a visit to a dairy or to a coke bottling plant, or maybe a tannery, it is there. But apart from that, we also take them to places where they get other experience also, like we make them visit the woman power line in UP, that is 1090, or dial 100, which is the police power helpline in UP. Then we also make them visit SEBI, HCL, and West Side, Globus, Landmark, so that students get a real understanding of how things are happening in the business world. And then the third level, which we try to work upon for the student, is his personality. So for the personality development, we have many programs. We have programs on soft skills, communication skills. Then we go for stress management, time management, self-motivation, understanding yourself, and many other such programs. And the fourth level of development, which we work with the student for, is the professional development of the student. And here we focus on his pre-placement grooming, how to write CVs, how to appear in interviews, what are the frequently asked questions, business etiquettes, personal grooming, image building, presentation skills, so that when the student moves to the real world, he is not only having a job, but he is also ready to face the real world. So that is how these are the things I think students should know about LBS.
That's really true, ma'am, that it's great to have such a deep insight on what is taught at the college, and how you essentially operate. I definitely think that this might be helpful to the students. So, ma'am, moving on to the next question, there are, in a country such as India, there are hundreds and thousands of institutes all over the country. What is that one thing, a USP or a strength that you think that makes LBS stand apart from its peers?
So LBS has a lot of strengths, and we cannot cover all of them in this short interview which we are having. But I would just like to mention that firstly, it is an institution which is run by academicians and which has a very academic orientation. And to think of the fact that when it started in 1984, as I said, people were not even knowing what professional education is. Forget about knowing its scope and how it is going to shape careers and all those things. But our founder at that point of time, he realized, he could see how professional education can change the economy, how he can change the careers of people, how good it can do to the corporate world. And he thought of starting an institution where quality professional education can be imparted to the students. So this philosophy has never been forgotten, never taken a backseat in LBS. And because of that, as I said, that here there is a lot of emphasis given on the selection of the faculty, upgradation of the faculty. So we have a very wonderful faculty resource, very qualified, experienced faculty. And which is one of the positives, is that the faculty is very dedicated or focused on student development, and they will go out of their way to make them understand concepts, to make them understand whatever, wherever they are facing a problem. So this is again, as I said, because where in institutions where the priority is lost, then the intellectual resource is also diluted. Then we, for so many years of existence, 36 years is not a short period of time. So we have a very, very niche or a very, very focused approach. We only offer MBA and MCA. Now you can very well understand, in these so many years, we could have gone for many other courses. We would have expanded our portfolio and our revenues like any other. We could have gone for exponential growth. But we had a very, very, as I said, very, very focused approach because we wanted to concentrate all our energies on MBA and MCA. So that is how we offer a very, very customized. We treat every student as unique, and we offer a very customized approach to the students. And we will think of expansion only at that point of time when we are very sure, we are confident in our mind that now we can have enough energy to focus on, equally focus on what we are having and what we are planning for the future. And as a result of this, what happens, the return on investment which the student receives because of joining Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management is more than 200%. The kind of the fees he pays, the kind of time or effort he gives, and the kind of development he undergoes, and the placements, the companies which visit our campus, which are available for placements, that I would say, as I said, more than 200% returns on the investment which a student makes.
That is something, ma'am, that is really something I definitely believe that very rarely any institute would be able to boast about, that, we are able to generate an ROI of 200%. Many management institutes, the best ones, do not have that sort of ROI. Definitely, it's a great thing that your college is doing currently, and we hope that, moving forward also, Lal Bahadur Shastri achieves greater heights. So ma'am, moving on to my last question, that is, given the current situation, or, in general, what is the suggestions that you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students of LBS?
The students today, are so much of aware. There's a lot of exposure to them through the internet. So difficult to give an advice to them. But because I'm a teacher by heart, so teacher does not always believes in giving some or the other suggestion and advice to the students. And I would like to tell these students that till their parents' generation, the challenge was, very, very limited choice. In their generation, the challenge is overabundance of choice. And this overabundance creates a lot of problem. Because in this, arena of limitless choice, taking the right decision and feeling that you have taken the right decision is a Herculean task. So it is not easy for students to understand what kind of institute they should choose for taking admission. I would like to just tell the students, I am not saying that you take admission in my institute or whatever, that is their choice. But they should have, any good decision maker should have the criteria for taking admission or choosing a college very, very clear. And that criteria, in my experience, would be that first thing, they should go about the credibility of the institute, the quality of learning which they will get from there, then the exposure which they will get from there, then the focus of the institute on the students, and of course the placements. So These are the 4-5 criteria which they should focus upon, and I would request them just to spend 1 or 2, 3 minutes and think about the criteria which I have told them just now, and they will realize that actually in the long run, nothing other criteria, no other criteria actually matters. It is all these things which will matter to them, because it is very important that the choice which they make today is not going only to impact their 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years, whatever is the duration of their course. It is going to impact their life. So it is this, whatever decision they are taking, because this is a professional course, so it is a life-changing decision. So please take the decision with all the rationality, with considering all the criteria, and then making the right choice. Do not go by what the institute offers to. Go by what you want from the institute. And also, I would like to tell to them that also do not be guided by what is good or what is going high in the market, or what is the best thing in the market right now, because market conditions are going to change, the situation is going to change. So go by what your heart says, because everything else will change, but you will have to live with this heart. So satisfy what your heart says. And whatever institute you join, firstly you have to commit time, energy, effort to your own development. An institute can help you, an institute can guide you, an institute can facilitate you, but you are the first person who should be responsible for yourself. And I would like to end up my advice to the students with these 4 lines, which are very, very common. अभी तो इस बाज की उड़ान बाकी है, अभी तो इस परिंदे का इम्तिहान बाकी है, अभी अभी मैंने लांघा है समुद्रों को, अभी तो पूरा आसमान बाकी है. So if you want to cover the sky, if you want to have limitless opportunities, then please make the right choice today itself.
That is really a wonderful poem, and it was really wonderful to hear your thoughts and insights on the institute and your philosophy in general. And I'm pretty sure that the thoughts that you put forward resonates with students, and they would be imbibing these thoughts in their day-to-day life, and would move to a better future. And on that note, I would really like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to take your interview, and I would like to end this interview right now. Okay, ma'am?
Oh, it's my pleasure, Ishita. Thank you so much.